Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Golden Falls, Golden, what if, whatever you want to call me, and I'm back. I am back with part 2, finally, of What If Deku had a Necromancer Quirk. Yeah, it took me forever to make this part because, for one, I had a day off in terms of that. I had a Demon Slayer What If come out before this. And then also, y'all really wanted me to finish the God of Destruction What If, so that's what I did. And normally I like flip-flopping between them, but like I'll do part 2 and then part this and then part that of different What Ifs. But y'all really wanted to see that, so that's why it took me so long to get this one out to y'all. But yeah, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. And, well, we're going to get right to the What If. So let's get it. As Midoriya began leaving through the portal, and all his memories began to recount back to the time where he first got his quirk, and he was at the park and he hurt his leg. Ow, my leg. Hey, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, but everyone is just so scared of me. Well, you aren't scary to me. What's your name? I'm Izuku Midoriya. What's yours? Oh, you can just call me Eri. Back to the UA fight. Eri begins thinking about how could that be Izuku, the same one that she knew as a kid. How could he be the same kid she helped all those years ago? She begins to recount when she left schools, when they started being together less and less until it felt like Izuku was gone, that he wasn't even there anymore. Bakugo made him like this, huh? The others made him like this. The students began to fight off the crowds of the undead, and eventually they were able to actually get reinforcements, and the undead were defeated. Eri headed back to the dorms, and her class began to talk about that kid, that he looked just like their age. Bakugo sat there in silence, and Eri walked in to hear most of them calling him crazy, and that being a villain was his choice in the first place. She walks in and slams the wall, saying that being deserted wasn't a choice, that being abandoned wasn't a choice, and being ridiculed by every student because his quirk wasn't a choice. They all look in shock at her, asking if she knows him. She nods, saying that he was the nicest and kindest person she has ever met before he started getting bullied and before she had to move. She looks toward Bakugo and he stands up and he begins to walk out of the dorms. Everyone asks where he's going, and pissed, he just says that he needs to clear his head. Eri breaks down in tears, thinking that she wasn't there for him. Nobody was, and now he's out there with those people. Now back to Midoriya. It's a job well done, kid. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna go lay down. Midoriya walks into his room thinking about everything that has happened. That he doesn't regret his actions he did because he knows that he was right. He just hates to see her with fake heroes. All for One then approaches his door and knocks. Midoriya then opens it. I hope you're not thinking about switching back to the other side, kid. The other side? Even you know it's not that simple. This hero and villain bullshit isn't so clear cut. All for One nods and leaves the room, seemingly expecting that answer from him. Midoriya then heads out, seemingly searching for something. A spirit. And then a spirit comes out of nowhere. Master, I found what you were looking for. Okay, bring me to them. Midoriya follows the spirit, coming to a house, hours away in a whole different part of Japan. Thank you. I will call you when I need you. Yes, master. Midoriya walks up to the door, and before he knocks, he sees an entire family, having fun, laughing, enjoying life. None of the things he was able to do as a child. He, for one, only had a mother, never had siblings, and never had really a father. But he even lost his mother immediately after he got his quirk, so seeing this didn't necessarily make him nostalgic. It just made him sad. He just remembers back to the times before he had his quirk though. But reality set in and he knocked. A man walked up to the door. "Oh, hello, what do you need?" "I'm looking for someone by the name of Inko. Is she here?" "Yeah, let me go get her for you, kid." He calls for his wife, and when she comes to the door, she doesn't even recognize him. What's wrong, kid? Do you want to come in?" Midoriya tells her that he would love to, and he comes up with a story of how he's just lost and that he needs somewhere to get away from the rain until he can at least go back home. "Oh, honey, you can stay here as long as you want." His tone and his face change. "Why didn't you?" "Huh? Do they know? Do they know that you abandoned your child?" The husband and the other children look at her in shock, asking both of them if what is he talking about and if that's even true. "There's no need to answer that. I'm living proof of it. My name is Izuku Midoriya, her son, and known as, well, the villain that brings back the dead." Inko begins to cry, asking to not kill her. "Why would I do that? Then I have to deal with you for the rest of my life. King of the dead, remember?" "So, what are you going to do?" "Frankly, if I was a real villain, I'd kill your whole family. But I like them. Maybe don't fuck this one up. Because if you do, I'll be back for your life." Midoriya begins to head out, and her husband calls out to him. "Wait, kid. You can come back. We could be a family. Look, I understand the sentiment, but trust me, where I'm going, or where I went, there is no coming back anymore." Midoriya enters a portal and is basically back at the League of Villains base. "Welcome back, Midoriya. How was your trip?" "Good. Got some things off my chest." Midoriya walks to his room and just goes to sleep. The next day, Midoriya tells everyone that he'll be going to the UA Sports Festival in, well, a full disguise. They tell him not to do anything stupid, and he tells them obviously not. After some time, he arrives with a hoodie and some casual clothing and enters the stadium. He watches as the fights go on and watches as his old friend Eri loses in the first round of the 1v1 battles. And Midoriya heads to the locker room without being seen. "Hey, that was pretty impressive." Thanks, I appreciate that, but who are you?" He pulls down his hood and her eyes grow wide and she runs and hugs him. "Where have you been? Well, why are you here?" "Just to see you compete. I'm glad to see you are the same person I once knew." "Yeah, but you're different. Why did all this happen?" Midoriya explains to her everything that happened to him and why he is, well, the way he is. She begins to cry and tell him that she is sorry and that she is just as much as at fault for leaving him. "It's not your fault. It's actually the farthest from it. But just realize that the old me won't be coming back. But I will be here if you need me." He begins to leave, and multiple students from the class show up, seeing her crying, and he slides his phone number to her without being, well, seen. But they stop him. They question him, asking why she is crying, but he just says that they were reminiscing on the good old days. He walks away and leaves back to the exit, but is stopped.
"Oh, leaving so soon? But the best fights are yet to come."
"Oh, All Might, yeah, I need to rush home." All Might kneels down with a smile, but he lowers his voice when he talks.
I know who you are, kid.
Okay. What do you want to do about it?
Nothing. You know I'm in no position to do so, but you're just a kid.
Midoriya cuts him off. I grew up fast, All Might. That's what you have to do when you, well, live through hell. Midoriya walks off and exits the school, with All Might thinking to himself that this kid is just broken and misguided. He isn't a villain. But to Midoriya, he agrees. He isn't a villain. Just, he has the ideals of what society thinks a villain is. Midoriya arrives back at the base and is greeted by everyone. They explain that they will need help and search for someone.
Who are you trying to find?
Well, we need to find Stain, the hero killer. You know, he won't like our little group very much. Of course, but we need to find him anyways. Okay, I'll send some minions to find him then. Shigaraki agrees, and Midoriya sends them off. After about a week, his minions finally come back with his next target. Good work, you're free to go. Thank you, Master. Midoriya tells Shigaraki that he'll be going to get our friend Stain. He tells him, and Shigaraki tells him to be careful, that the hero killer is a worthy opponent. Midoriya then approaches an alleyway, and using various no moves, Shigaraki is able to basically stall various heroes. Midoriya watches as Stain is about to kill a boy and the pro hero native. He drops down and Stain stabs into the boy.
What do you want?
Just to talk, Stain.
Oh, the king of the undead. Interesting to see you here.
Yeah. I want you to join us, or I guess our boss does. Something like that.
Why would I do that, kid?
I mean, it was just an offer. It would make your job easier. I mean, I do the same thing you do.
Oh, so you were controlling the Oni.
Midoriya continues talking to Stain, telling him that they can eliminate any fake heroes and that he can help him make sure that it gets done. Stain looks at him and is about to agree, but Endeavor, the number 2 pro hero, is in the alleyway. He charges at them both, but Midoriya summons the Nomu that is being controlled by the Oni and begins to fight Endeavor. The fight becomes increasingly hard because of the addition of more and more pro heroes. The Oni then turns to Midoriya and begins to speak.
Master, you should escape while you can.
It's not my style. I have a better idea. Midoriya begins reviving the 2 that were killed by Stain, using them as puppets in a spirit form. And Ida, Ingenium's brother and the pro hero native, attack the other pros, helping in the fight, turning the tide of the battle. The pros realize that this is bad. But the undead are way stronger than when they were alive before. Midoriya continues fighting, but even he knows that this still isn't enough. His body begins to be covered in a black aura, and this black armor seemingly covers him, as if being made up of the dead around him. Stain stands next to him, ready to kill the heroes, but more importantly, Endeavor.
You promised me, kid, huh? That you would help me kill all these fake heroes. And frankly, Endeavor is good enough.
Midoriya hears this and tells Stain that he is glad to hear that, and he sends his hand through Stain's chest and looks toward the heroes. It's crazy how killing someone can instantly erase their impact. But unfortunately for you, the dead is kinda my specialty. So erasing the impact of something through killing is more like multiplying the impact by 10. Midoriya smiles and Stain begins to be covered in this misty white cloak and stands to his feet. The now controlled Stain charges at the pro heroes faster, stronger, and way more durable than even before. Now, heroes, you all die and become part of my army. All the pro heroes helping Endeavor slowly but surely die off, and with every death, the stronger Midoriya got, until he had an army of pro heroes, his Nomu, and even the hero killer himself. Endeavor realizes this, that it's practically impossible to win, and he tries to retreat, but the Nomu stops him, punching a hole through Endeavor's chest. Midoriya walks up to Endeavor. You know, I didn't want it to be like this, but society did deem me as a villain. He adds the number 2 hero to his army, and he tells everyone to disappear until further notice, and they do so sinking into the ground. Midoriya leaves to the League of Villains base.
So kid, how did it go?
You tell me, Shigaraki. Midoriya calls forth all the souls that he captured and are now under his control. Shigaraki looks in shock to see various pro heroes, Stain, and even the number 2 hero in Japan, Endeavor. Shigaraki calls for All For One, and when he arrives to see all these people under the control of Midoriya, he smirks. You did well, kid. I couldn't be prouder. And that's a wrap for part 2 of What If Deku had a Necromancer Quirk. If you enjoyed this part, please leave a like and subscribe. I will probably be at 8K when this video gets posted, but if it's not at 8K already, boys, hit that freaking sub button, boys. Let's get me to 8K. Let's the grind to 10K before the end of the year. We're on pace, easily on pace. We're in early October already at 8K. Boys, the growth is insane. The army grows every single month, every single day. You know what I'm talking about. I appreciate all the support and all the love that I get on these videos. And frankly, at the end of the day, I want to make something like this my job. So I mean, you guys are helping me or getting me to that point. So I appreciate all the love and support, and I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.